What is going on, everybody? My name is JoJo, and today I am very curious about the third installment of this franchise, Creed 3. After dominating the boxing world, Adonis Creed has been thriving both in his career and family life. When childhood friend and former boxing prodigy Damien resurfaces after serving a long sentence in prison, he is eager to prove that he deserves his shot in the ring. The face-off between the former friends is more than just a fight. To settle the score, Adonis must put his future on the line to battle Damien, a fighter who has nothing to lose. So this is Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. We're in the third Creed film, and it's the first one without Sylvester Stallone playing Rocky. Michael B. Jordan has definitely solidified himself as a grade A actor, so it was really exciting to see him come back into this role, but also to take over the director's chair. This was a great chapter in the Creed films. I loved seeing Adonis grow from the man that he was in Creed 1 to the man that he has now become in Creed 3. He has a family. He's become much more level-headed. He's smarter, more mature. I wouldn't necessarily say that he would speak with his fist anymore, but then Jonathan Majors' character shows up and kind of flips the switch on Adonis. Now, Jonathan Major plays Damien, who is a childhood friend of Adonis's, where they share a very similar rough childhood. What I loved about Damien is that he initially comes off as very nice, reserved, kind of quiet, especially in the first act of the film. He had a mixture of tones and body languages to where I was thinking, okay, is he good? Is he bad? Is he telling the truth? Is he lying? Jonathan was honestly just able to mix these different emotions and tones to where you just never knew what the outcome was going to be with him. Now, I heard Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors are planning to collaborate on future projects. I'm here for it. The chemistry between these two was marvelous, so whatever they do in the future, I'll be there to watch. Now, the biggest elephant in the room was Sylvester Stallone not appearing as Rocky. Growing up, I was a casual Rocky viewer. We used to say Sylvester Stallone was our dad just because they looked very similar during their younger years. So anytime I saw a Rocky film or a Lipton iced tea commercial where they did the claymation boxing ring with Sylvester Stallone, anytime I saw any of those things, I just always thought of my dad. So I always had a near and dear place in my heart for that. But it wasn't until 2006 when Rocky Balboa, the film, dropped, where I was just like in it. Rocky always came with such heart and emotion, so knowing that he wasn't going to be in this film, it was disappointing for sure. But after seeing this film, Rocky wasn't really needed in this. He did not serve anything to the storyline. You can't just pop Rocky in and out of like maybe some fighting scenes or some training scenes. No, he's very much essential to these movies. So if you're not going to have him part of the storyline, then it probably best not to keep him in there. And in this case, it just didn't make any sense for this particular storyline to have Rocky in it. So I was actually okay with it. Now, the pacing after the first act just zoomed by very quickly. The movie starts off with very good storyline explanations, character updates, and then it starts to set up the main story of this film. But then it just swiftly goes into Act 2 and Act 3, and then we were done. The pacing of Damien's character progression also felt very rushed. The success that he was able to obtain didn't really seem feasible to me in such a quick amount of time. It felt like we needed one or two extra scenes to focus on Damien and to see him go into Act 3. Maybe an extra scene or two in Act 2 to progress him and his success into Act 3. It went by so quickly that it was just like, this is Damien in Act 1, and bam, this is Damien in Act 3, and it was just a very different tone, different character in my eyes. One of the things that made this film very different was the fighting style. Michael B. Jordan has stated several times that he took a lot of inspiration from anime fighting styles and techniques. Some moments were fine with me, but then some were not. For example, without giving too much away, there was a moment in the finale that had a change of scene that was supposed to be kind of allegorical. That moment took me out of the fight. Usually by the end of the films, I'm just full of emotion. You know, my eyes are glued to the screen. I'm just super invested. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. It's just an adrenaline rush while watching the finale. But then when that happened in the scene, the scene was no longer grounded for me. It didn't feel real. So honestly, it was taken out by a moment in the finale scene. And if you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. If I had to rank my Creed movies in a list now, Creed 3 would definitely be number 3. Now, it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie at all. It still has the grit, the heart, the passion that all the Rocky and the Creed movies have in the past. It just felt like there was less emotion than it typically has. It felt a little bit flat by the end of the film. I didn't walk out like, wow, what a movie. Just that rush that you feel after you see that finale fight. I did not feel that after watching Creed 3. To me, it just came and gone. Now, for a directorial debut, Michael B. Jordan succeeded. The cast performances in this film were probably the highlight for me. This film absolutely deserves to be seen. It's still a worthy film, and I honestly cannot wait to see what they do next. But what did you guys think of this film? Did it bring its A game? Did you like the style of filming that they chose on this one? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.